Hello again and thanks for joining. So today I'm going to show you these two coaches. I bought these together and they don't come with boxes, but I do know that they are from Piko. They're both the same coach, but I'm not sure what the part number is. I'll look it up and put it onto the video around about now. But they're both identical, however one has been opened up and the previous owner has put some passengers inside the coach. So yes, these are another second-hand purchase, but let's get them out the packaging and we'll have a look. Neither of these two coaches came with the original Piko packaging, they just came with polystyrene sleeves, so I'm going to get both of them out and we can have a look at them. So these are very typical of a coach that Piko makes and they do a lot of different logos on them. It's very similar to one I reviewed recently which had the Polish Intercity logo on it. I'll put a link at the end of the video to that review and you can have a look if you like. This particular coach has an interesting Connex livery and it obviously has this kind of off-white, almost light grey colour and the blue colour down the side of the coach. You might be able to see on the video that the one in the foreground has slightly different colour of grey to the one in the back. Now I'm not sure whether that's a difference in manufacturing or maybe it's been left out in the sun a little bit too much or something like that. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but let's assume from the factory they would both look identical. So let's have a look at the one without the passengers. So this is a coach model that Piko have produced quite a few of, and this one is up to the usual standard. The high quality of the moulding on the carriage is very good. It's got a lot of detail and relief as well. You can see that the glazing is flush fit there, which is really good. And then looking at this end of the coach, you have this additional part added on here. You also have the lights. These aren't illuminated, but you could probably add in LEDs quite easily there. And the gangway doors there are also glazed as well. And this additional kick down plate has been added in as a separate part. The buffers too are separate parts that have been added. They're just made in plastic though. You can see that both these coaches have got NEM pockets and they don't have any couplings. I don't know why the couplings are missing. It's quite annoying. I'm going to have to source couplings for these from somewhere. I guess it fits in the polystyrene tray, but it doesn't make it easy to couple up obviously. So as we start to look down the side of the coach, you can see that this part here has a bit of grey and then the blue of the door. So it looks a bit odd. It's possibly prototypical, but it kind of looks a little bit weird on this model. Anyway, you have the kick down plate here for the step, which looks really good with a checker plate moulded into it. So this livery has this blue stripe, which has been printed very clearly all the way along the length of the coach. And you can see there the ex-Traveller logo and an arrow. You've also got some details here, non-smoking, and I think that's seating 1 to 5. And you've even got the URL interconnex.com at the top there. There's a nice grey area across the windows, and it's very crisp between that and the top part of the roof. There's also some smaller decals that are incredibly small. I can't actually make these out with the naked eye, but it's nice that they've been printed there. And you can see numbers here of the running number of this coach, as well as some other details as well. It's been printed onto this grey area, so that's really nicely done. The printing on here is really very good. As we move further down, you see another Interconnex logo here, and then at this end of the coach it's very similar, but you have the number 6 to 11, and then you have the destination board on this window here. And that's really nicely done. It's very fine writing. It's very nice and clear. On the other side of the coach, you don't see this blocked off window here. I guess that's for the toilet. So this side, it's just plain, but the printing is also applied there. In the middle of the coach on this side, there's a vent, which has been molded in. A really nice attention to detail. And then at this end, again, there's no toilet window there. It's just blanked off. Some of these windows have a little bit of moulding on it to make it look as though they open, and that's a really nice detail as well. And then looking down at the darker grey area, there's lots of details of rivets and panels for all the different grills and vents and bits and pieces on the bottom of this coach. So that's really nicely moulded. The bogies on here are really good as well. They've got a lot of deep relief and the spring detail is very convincing, as well as the suspension parts. It's quite simple underneath, however there is a lot of bracing moulded into the bottom panel and all these tanks as well at this end. So Piko have really gone to town with the detail on this model. It's really quite nice, even extends to underneath. One of the things I find quite annoying about these kind of models though is that the dark grey printing here doesn't extend all the way underneath. You don't normally see that from above, but it just annoys me, so I'd probably fix that with a little bit of touch-up paint. And the bogies are attached very simply, just clip in. And the wheels are very free running as well, so it's a really nice model. It does come from their hobby range, so it doesn't have a great amount of detail on here, but what detail it does have and the exceptional printing really makes it a very nice and attractive model to have. The windows are very clear and you can see inside no problem at all. It has a blue interior there with the seating. It's quite a simple arrangement. I guess this coach in real life is quite a simple affair. And as I mentioned, the other coach has got some passengers in it. I'll just show you that. So here you can see the passengers that the previous owner has fitted into this other coach. Aside from that, this is identical to the one we just had a closer look at. So this one without the passengers is more standard. So let's see how much this weighs. So bearing in mind this coach doesn't have any couplings, it weighs 155 grams. So overall, these coaches from Piko look quite impressive to me. I think they've really nailed the design of this coach, and obviously they've churned them out with all the different possible liveries that you can on it. And fair play to them, they've done it really well. This particular livery looks pretty classy. I like the combination of the light grey, the dark grey and the blue on these, and it's been applied very well, including all the numbering on these coaches as well. So would I recommend these coaches to you? Well, I think you've got a lot of options when it comes to livery on these things, so you can pick and choose what you want. These particular ones, the Connex, looks really good, I think. It's subtle, but it's eye-catching, and I think they would look great on your layout. So I definitely would recommend these. Even though they're in the hobby range, there's a lot of detail on them, and they look really good, I think. So I'll put one of these on the turntable so you can see all the way around. I've got some more of these coaches in different liveries coming up soon, so keep an eye on my channel. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and you can subscribe for more. But that's it for today. Thanks for watching. See ya!